All right. Hey, how's everybody doing today? Today is not July 29th. I about to say today is July 29th, 2014. That is, however, the show we are recapping. And SE, channel member SE, requested this show. I apologize for no whiteboard. It's just the show, there's a few things working against it. I just don't know if there wasn't going to be a lot of whiteboarding to do. And boy, there's a lot of songs. That was going to be tough to cram it on there. And then thirdly, Mary made ribs and I ate and I just couldn't stop eating them. I'm like, well, they're going to be best when they're fresh. And I had, well, I think I ate about a half a pig too many of ribs. Should have stopped after just like one rib cage. All right, so let's get on to this show. Sometimes people like to tell you about what they ate that day in their fish reviews. Tried to always avoid that. What me and the crew being Mary and the cats. All right, so one thing, speaking of Mary in this show, this was like, she's a very casual Phish fan, been to a couple shows, has been hearing them off and on now since 2020 when we met. But the fact that like so many songs here, they just like played the song and on to the next one, played the song and on to the next one. Actually very good for like a casual Phish fan. If it's not a song that she really loves, she's not looking for a 13-minute Pillow Jets or whatever. So this was good for that and anybody else that maybe even if someone's new to the band, because there's a lot of good songs played here. And then overall, another thing I wanted to mention, this was one of the handful of shows is now back-to-back months where we are plugging some holes here. So starting on July 25th, 2014, I've mostly recapped every show since then, missing a few shows here and there. And this being one of the shows, July 29th, 2014, in Portsmouth, Virginia. So they opened up with this little quad here of Timber, Undermind, AC/DC Bag, 555, all right around the 6-minute range. The Timber actually could have went further, although in those 6 minutes they packed a lot in there and it was very good. And then Page getting down and Undermine. It was like each guy had a little bit. Then we get Mike's 555, AC/DC Bag. Not a lot going on there. Just all of them just playing the song and let's go. There was a little bit of this in '09, and then. So coming off of that start, and maybe not all four of those are fan favorites for sure. I don't know how people feel about Undermine. I don't think people never necessarily loved 555. If they'd have followed this little quad up with, say, Fluffhead instead of Divided Sky, I think they could have really stolen some points on the ratings here, and gotten some people back that weren't real high on this show. So that was a little bit of a weird choice there, though it wasn't a bad Divided Sky. It wasn't flawless, but not bad for 2009, really. And then Ocelot, surprisingly, was just kind of okay. Like, they gave some effort to Ocelot. A lot of these songs, not to bag on them here, but it felt like, and I don't know, I'd say a lack of effort's not the right thing. Maybe just a lack of stage time, really, at this point. That's not even true, man. They had been back together I don't know what the hell's going on in this night, really. Maybe that recap, those crazy recaps I did on the 25th and the 27th, they were like, oh, no, that YouTube guy's going to get us. There was too much pressure. They couldn't handle it. So, in 2014, that was kind of Ocelot's heyday, really. Halfway to the Moon, Kill Devil Falls, both just very normal versions. A Split Open and Melt that even was like, maybe want to compare it to like Split Open and Melt from the 90s and then Split Open and Melts that we just got in 2023. But this one was okay, just okay. Like everything in this first set was just like extremely okay. It was hard to even pick a highlight. Maybe that Timber, possibly the highlight, maybe. I mean, I always take a Split Open and Melt, even if it's just an okay Split Open and Melt that doesn't just like grab you by the throat, doesn't pull a MacGruber throat rip on you. So then we get over to the second set. You see an 18-minute Chalk Dust Torture on the app. You start thinking maybe this is the time. Well, there was really never, and it wasn't just a straight burning Chalk Dust. If they had just ripped it for 18 minutes, that'd have been amazing. But they kind of drift around, try to go different places. There was maybe only a few moments here and there where all four guys kind of clicked in together and it sounded really nice. So it had some good points, kind of like they ended the set with Good Times, Bad Times, very appropriate. Similar to this Chalk Dust. This Chalk Dust had some good times and then some more average times. Then they followed that up with, now early in the second set, If I Could in the Line. Now I'm okay with these songs, not songs they play a lot, not songs I listen to a lot. I actually kind of enjoyed this part of the show, maybe more so. Those first four songs were cool. The timber, yeah, I guess the timber was the highlight, if I should say. Can I recap the first set since there's no whiteboard here? They went Timber, Undermind, AC/DC Bag, 555, Divided Sky, Ocelot, Halfway to the Moon, Kill Devil Falls, Melt, and Good Times, Bad Times. That's a lot. You can see I ran out of Sharpies. All right, so now we're on Chalk Dust Torture, If I Could, in the line, opening up the second set. It's hard to believe, but then this is really when the show started to take off for me. I think after that Chalk Dust, I really liked the rest of this. The Birds of a Feather, while it wasn't great, this is not a 5-star Birds of a Feather, nor a 6-star, really. They definitely tried to do a little something here. Trey was like, all right, well, how about if I just go crazy on the guitar? Do people like that? I like that. I'm a fan of that. All right, so then we get a song I heard the ocean sing. Again, they're trying here, and it didn't go too long. So if it kind of was failing a little bit, at least it didn't carry on forever. Then we get into a Mike's Groove with a Caspian and Waves in between. Kind of going back to just like the theme of the night where everything is around 6 minutes and just a very normal version. So we got a really strong Mike's and then 2 straight normals, Caspian and Waves. A lot of kind of like a slow soft rock kind of feel to the night as well. Going on Halfway to the Moon. Ocelot, I guess, is soft rock, I suppose, If I Could, the line. A lot of soft rock, huh? Caspian, Waves. So then that changes after the Weekapaug. And I did like the Mike's. This Mike's was only about 7.5 minutes, but it could get down and dirty, and it got pretty hard. Then the Weekapaug, I don't know if it was Paige coming over top of Mike, or Mike had some kind of effect or something on his bass. It sounded cool, but it wasn't that just dead ringer of a recognizable Weekapaug intro. It was a little bit different and sounded cool, and then went on to be a pretty good Weekapaug, although short and sweet. And although it was short and sweet, it was still very good. And then we got Cavern, Golgi Apparatus back to back, just like Boom Boom. If they had started to lose chompers at some point, you had to bring them back there. And then Run Like an Antelope, while it was good, much like the theme of the night, just a very okay, average, normal Run Like an Antelope. And then I kind of like the Encore, Wingsuit, Squirming Coil. I've been a big Wingsuit guy since, early on. So it's a shame that Wingsuit has kind of been pushed out of the rotation. And then a Squirming Coil to end the night. I will always take that, whether if it's a flawless 5-star coil or not. So that was actually a little bit more soft rock. Although Coil, that's not quite soft rock. It's some kind of rock. I don't know what kind of rock that is, but... So, SE, thank you. I did enjoy taking this trip, and I really enjoy, now plugging the holes in the last decade of shows that I've missed. I guess if I had to say overall, the Birds of a Feather, Mike's, Weekapaug, maybe my 3 highlights, Timber. I'm not trying to influence people to listen to these shows. No, never really. Even if it's a really, really great show, my intention is not to get you to listen to it. But, if you do like to play along, the Timber opener was pretty cool. That's worth a listen, I suppose. Birds of a Feather and the Mike's Groove. I don't know. If you're a Wingsuit guy, if you haven't heard the line in a while, I like the content of the line. They got a song about basketball. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, boom, we are out of here. I don't know what I'll jump onto next. I'm going to have to go back to the 90s next. Got an 09 show coming up. Got some stuff. I think that was Red Rocks 09, I believe. All right, guys, boom, we're out of here. I went on way too long for no whiteboard. I guess, even though there's like 7,000 songs, maybe I'll put them in the description. Maybe I'll just give you a link to .net. I'm telling you, man, those ribs killed me. I just feel like I can't stand up. I can't fill out a whiteboard. I don't even feel like typing. I could sit here and talk, though. That I always have. And I gotta tell, this is not the lighting. I got a little bit of sun. You can't really see it on my arms, can you? All right, guys, I like this. I like the sun on the face. Boom. 9 minutes. This is ridiculous. Sorry. I'm sorry I made you do this. Some people probably feel like, I got to watch all the way to the end. I wish I had something funny for you. I don't know. Colin Quinn just had a new special come out today. Watch that. That's funny, I guess. I didn't laugh as much as I would like to have laughed. I'm watching The Shogun from 1980. I know there's a hot one right now on FX. Went back to it's on archive.org. It's a cool streaming service.